Hi everyone, and welcome to the Vice Press Open channel. I'm Jay. That sounds. Oh God.
Should I count you in?
You don't need to.
Okay.
I just realised how false that sounded. So I didn't. It's really hard to do this, isn't it, Tom?
That's okay.
I got to do it. Shall I do this? Shall I do the intro?
Yeah, you do the intro. You do the intro today.
I'll do it. Right, okay. I'm going to do a countdown.
Good evening.
We're going to do the intro. You can do this bit. You can have this bit. 3, 2, 1. I'm doing the intro to this week's video thing that we do online. Hello, this is me, Matt, and then there's these other people here, and we're going to talk for a bit.
Yeah. Good intro. Solid.
Is this real?
It's a solid intro.
Was that a real shot or?
Why not? Let's keep that in.
Well, I don't give a shit.
I'll jump into it. So
That's it. The show started now.
What's new?
Then
with,
James
what's
can
new with
say
you
what he
three?
wanted to say.
What's new with you three? What's new in your lives? What have you been up to?
Not much.
I went on a holiday to a warmer part of the country.
There's a warmer part.
Were you on fire?
Yeah,
then,
I live
basically?
in the cold bit. I'm down the bottom.
How cold does it get?
Then it just you lot all gonna make fun of me.
Yep,
right?
exactly.
So it's winter at the moment, yeah, and we've got our highs are about I don't know 10ish.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 10 max, 10, 12, 13,
Good job.
something like that, and we're all freezing, and then but up there in winter in Queensland where we went to the Gold Coast, where it's all the theme parks and like all that stuff are. So we took the kids up there for 5 days. And had a muck around, and I drank heaps of Long Island iced teas and shit, and it was crazy. 10:30 a.m. they started the cocktails at this joint.
Whoa!
It was all right.
Was it like a
So
a holiday resort place, or was it like an Airbnb?
Yeah, like geared towards kids. It sort of felt like living in a soft play center for like a week, but it was pretty good because you could just let them you could just pretty much let everyone go, and it had a water park in it as part of the resort and stuff like that. But like their average temp in winter is 24 degrees and sunny every day. So it's like that's where you get this is like classic Australia, the bronzed Aussie kind of stuff. I'm down in the miserable bit where we all wear black and like it's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's fun. I haven't done any work, so
it's like Butlins, but actually somewhere that's relatively desirable to go to, I guess.
Butlins.
Have you never heard of Butlins? Like redcoats and things. Oh God, it's grim.
It's like
great.
a holiday camp.
Yeah, it's just a holiday camp / prison camp. It's great. It's kind of what we used to do as kids, like with the whole camping and things along those lines. How about you, Matt? What have you been up to? Anything you want to share, talk about, mention?
I have been working.
Slaving away.
Working.
You have been working hard. I've known you for a long time now, and you have worked harder these past few weeks than I've ever known you to work.
I thought you were going to say you've actually worked.
Just started.
Few weeks. It's amazing. Dickhead. Right, so, but also I've got the new unicorn on sale. So for the 3 people that are going to watch this, it's the rainbow one.
It's Bright Monsters.
Oh, you do have one. That's sick.
It's amazing. It's the best one yet.
Oh God.
I do like it a lot.
If you buy it,
Does it change color, like in terms of light?
It's slightly.
I see.
It's reflective.
It's like an oil slick.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
like an oil slick. It's brilliant. So it's really good. It's the little things like it, which is really cool.
The plaque.
Yeah.
That is going for charity. So all of the profit that we make is going to go to Sheffield Children's Hospital, which is my local hospital, which I'm an ambassador for. I'm a VIP, don't you know?
You are.
Are you getting better treatment then?
No. I went to the curry place, right, to get a curry, and they support the charity. They got a picture of me up in it.
No free
I had to wait
publicity.
half an hour for my curry, and they didn't acknowledge me at all.
Did you point like?
No, I didn't do anything. I'm not going to do that. It would be weird.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Be like one of those Joey Tribbiani things where they take your picture off the wall.
Yeah.
It's because we went with the ambassadors.
Yeah.
We go there for a curry night or something.
Oh, that's
We
really
went
nice.
once, and they took a picture, and then it's there.
I do have to say, Sheffield Children's Hospital is a really, really good cause. There was a little girl probably 11 years old, and when I had, for those of you that don't know, I had brain surgery a couple of years ago, and there was a little girl that had exactly the same condition as me. I think she was like 11, 12 years old, and it just kind of, for somebody to go through that at that age and have to go through that kind of procedure, and she was at Sheffield Children's Hospital, but they did the surgery at Sheffield Hallam, Northern General, sorry. And the way that they look after these kids and look after them, and I think most people around this area have had a story where they've had their kids or had to have their kids looked after by Sheffield Children's Hospital.
Well, I don't think there's only like about 3 or 4 children's hospitals, right, in the UK.
Yeah, it's comparable to the one down in London. I can't remember the name of it. Somebody that I know had their little sister who was treated for leukemia there. It's just such a phenomenal charity and what they do. So even if the unicorn isn't your bag, or you want to kind of give it to somebody as a gift, I'd definitely encourage you to support them in any way. But if you send a message on Twitter and saying, I really want to support the charity, but I don't want a unicorn, just buy a unicorn. Just buy a unicorn, and then you can give it to somebody, and you're supporting the charity.
Pull your fucking finger out, put your hand in your pocket. They're sick kids. It's what, $50 or some shit. Just fucking buy one. Like, even I'm notoriously cheap and poor, and I'm gonna fucking buy one.
If you're strapped,
just buy one.
Because I understand people are strapped for cash. A share or like a sort of this is a good cause also helps.
Yeah.
It's a toss-up between, do you like kids or do you want kids to die? Do you hate kids?
Exactly. And
this is the only choice with this.
And it
shocking, but true. Thing is, it has been the most popular ornament yet. So that is a sign, obviously, that people do want to support.
Well, that's the thing too. And if you buy the physical good, then there's more chance of these things going forward. So more fun stuff instead of just giving over your cash. Like more things can happen. Like
if this goes well, then there'll be other charity things, obviously down the line, or just more of these ornaments because obviously there's more ideas.
Yeah, cool. How about you, Tom?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Not that much happened, I guess. I mean, I watched RR. We had like the first special encore screening for the best movie of the year, and
he's still on about that.
Yeah.
Top Gun.
Top Gun. Thing.
No, Top Gun. Top Gun is miles behind. Who's this Top Gun?
Jesus.
Top Gun was the number 1 movie for me, but then Everything Everywhere all at
easily.
once superseded it.
See, I haven't seen that yet. I am going to watch it. It's more of a time thing, and I'm going to watch it. But Top Gun. Oh my god! Oh, I actually grew a mustache.
What about what Tom was saying, James?
Oh, sorry. Carry on, Tom, and then I'll talk about my mustache.
Can't wait to tell us the story.
No, I wanted to say also, Everything Everywhere All at Once is my favorite movie of the year so far, and but closely second RRR, and I still would love for you to watch it, guys, because it is really that good. I had people who also said Top Gun best movie, and then they watched this one and they were like, oh. Who's that Top Gun again?
Well, we will watch it.
Who's that Top Gun?
Is it RR?
Who is the Top Gun?
3 R's, triple R.
3 R's. I'll give it a watch.
We shall watch it, won't we, James?
We will. Yeah, we'll give it a go. And Everything Everywhere All at Once. I do really want to watch that. It's just kind of accessibility, really.
Good.
We were going to go. I was going to go with some of the lads to watch it, but the cinemas around here seem to ditch it out of the cinema relatively quick. But I think it's on Amazon Prime now, or at least.
You can rent it, yeah.
I don't know about you.
I couldn't even see the Top Gun in the biggest, fanciest cinema because that stupid fucking dinosaur movie came along and took it all up.
Really?
That made so much money.
It's gone back the other way now, isn't it? Top Gun's
Why do you need 20 screens all at once? Like, what the fuck? I haven't even seen Top Gun yet. Like, get out of here. No one needs to see that shite.
Yeah. I think...
have you guys watched it, James and Matt?
What? Jurassic World?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I was really excited to watch it, and I will go and watch it. But it kind of, I did get put off by a lot of the reviews, which I don't know about you lot. I tend to
get put off by the last film, James. The last film was enough to put you off, right?
Yeah,
that's what put me off.
Yeah, it's not.
You liked it.
The last 2 films, like I don't like Jurassic World. It's not good.
Yeah, I'm trying to be.
You're allowed to
Everyone
like
wants
James.
it to be
If we-
good.
If we say we'd hate it, you.
Oh no, I'm not thinking about
You can
that at
still
all. I
like
don't give a
it.
shit whether I agree with you lot or not. It's like Jurassic World. I enjoyed Jurassic World. Jurassic Fallen Kingdom was. I liked what they were trying to achieve. But who has fucking dinosaurs in the basement? There's nowhere. That's just. I mean, there's suspension of disbelief, but that's a bit weird. So yeah, I will watch it. I'll take the kids to watch. Not my kids. I'll borrow some kids and take them and watch it. And
It's for charity.
Yeah, just grab a bunch out of the hospital.
It's a meeting.
Fun day out with Uncle James.
It's a
Yeah,
meet and greet
okay.
with James.
go and watch that. Yeah.
That's torture taking them to that. Like they've already been through enough. I don't think they need to.
Well, this is the thing, right? I've had some of my mates. They've taken their kids, and they're like, "Oh God, yeah, the kids loved it. It's their favorite one yet."
Yeah,
So it's like,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm
yeah,
sorry, it
it's-
wasn't enough dinosaurs.
They persist. They persist because it's there's big flashy things. It's really loud,
Yeah.
and kids don't really care.
They're kind of like Transformers movies now, aren't they? They're not like the first Jurassic Park, and then the next two, to a certain extent, were like actually good movies.
Yeah, yeah.
In my opinion.
They were
First
trying
one's
to.
just a
That
proper
was
film.
Jurassic 3 is a lot.
And now they're
better
just
than-
like action. It's like Fast and the Furious with dinosaurs, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
fine, but there's not much brains going on.
No, I think Jurassic 3 is a lot better than what you remember it. But I was thinking about this the other day. Is it that
but
nowadays
it's also not good. Though.
It's also not good. But also, do you think now expectations of our expectations of films are a lot lower? So therefore, stuff that we didn't used to like, we kind of are more accepting of. I don't know. Lost World.
I've always quite liked
I think-
Jurassic Park 3. It's just the fact that they needed an extra 45 minutes of story because it's just action scenes, and all the action scenes are great.
Yeah.
The big spiny thing
Yeah.
with the telephone in it is a brilliant idea because you hear it coming because of the telephone going off. That's awesome. But there's no storyline.
Yeah,
There's a missing kid and they've got to find him. That's it.
yeah. It's
yeah, that's
very
just kind of like I heard from a friend of mine. He hosted the I think a Europe premiere or German premiere at least in Cologne, and he was hanging out with Colin Trevorrow, and there were some kind of like the COVID reasons they had to do a lot of reshoots, and I think that's why. But I mean, that's what the reasons were given, basically, that the movie is so like mumbled together and it's not really working very well, and that's one of the problems.
I don't care because it's a big movie with giant dinosaurs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the decision was made not to have many dinosaurs in it.
Yeah,
So you fucked
Yep.
it from there. You've basically fucked it from there
Yeah.
because the whole
I'm
thing was like,
going with
they're
you.
out. We're going to have heaps in the next one. Hey, do you think we should have heaps in the next one? That's what everyone expects. Okay, this is a big popcorn franchise now. It doesn't have to make sense. Maybe we should have heaps of dinosaurs. No.
I mean, we
No,
have.
I'm not going to do that. You fucking moron. What are you talking about?
Did you
This
watch
is-
or do you know about Pitch Meeting? The Pitch Meeting YouTube videos.
no.
It's basically like they sum up in a funny way, a sarcastic way, like movie themes. So like basically,
Oh, like what might have
No, no,
happened
no, no,
to
no.
get to this point, kind
it's
of.
it's like basically like you see like the studio name at the door, and then the producer guy says, "Oh, so you have a movie for me?" And then yes I do. And then he talks about like what the movie's about, gives the pitch for the movie, and like gives you all the spoilers, and then the like he plays himself like in both roles, and then the guy like asks us stuff like that. But yeah, shouldn't he have hypothermia when he breaks into the ice? I was like, how about you go off my back with that and don't ask that question again and stuff like that. It's like really funny, and they kind of like put it very well together, like just to make fun of the movie, and it totally works. And the Pitch Meeting is like point on for Jurassic World, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like honest trailers. Honest
Yeah,
trailers
it's kinda
is
like
good
that.
for that sort of stuff.
What I think the thing
same
with
guys.
Trevorrow is Trevorrow seems to have these amazing ideas but doesn't kind of follow through with them very well. Like, I think the concept of all three of these Jurassic films is really good. Like, oh, cool. Well, what happens if the park is open? Ooh. Oh, what happens if there's an illegal black market for these dinosaurs? Ooh. What happens if all of these dinosaurs are out in the real world? And it kind of, there's just no, it's kind of, I don't know.
Genetically modified locusts. That's what happens.
Yeah.
It's almost as if he should be a producer and not a director or
It's a
writer.
bit of a J.J. Abrams situation. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
but JJ can. I think he can follow through, and he can direct, and he can obviously come up with like some stuff. I think he's 45 steps above this Trevor guy, and I like his first movie. I like that time travel.
Yeah,
Maybe we
that's
should
brilliant.
stick
That's
with the
phenomenal,
writing.
That's a
isn't
great.
it?
Because I think the writing for the Star
No,
Wars
he
movie
shouldn't
was
stick with the writing because
interesting.
didn't he write this?
Yeah.
Didn't he write this?
I'm not sure.
Colin
It should
Trevorrow?
be story, so come up with the premise.
concept,
And then, like George Lucas can't write a script.
Yeah,
for
that's
shit,
what I
can
mean.
he?
Yeah.
But he comes up with a good story.
Yeah, like the whole
So
producing.
come up with that one line pitch and then give it to people that know what the fuck they're doing and just get out of my dinosaurs.
So
It's dead now. It's dead.
we've had a few on the subject of that. We have had a few questions come in. Ooh, and one of them is relevant
Wild.
to this, I think. So this is from Lloyd Blower.
Quick question, James. Is that going to go into the magical bowl of giveaways?
We don't know. We've got to decide that after we ask the
Okay.
question and say, is it a good question
Okay.
or is it a
Okay.
shit question?
Let's find out what Lloyd wants.
So
to know.
Lloyd says, "What is?" Oh no, this one isn't Lloyd's question. Oh, I fucked it already.
Sorry, Lloyd.
This one is Michael Jason Hobbs has asked, "What film should never be remade?" What film should never be? Oh, right. While you think this, I'll answer that. I don't think any film should ever not be remade. If somebody's got a new take on something that's already been done, then I don't see the problem in somebody turning around and say, "Oh, okay, well, They Live, or Escape from New York, or Jurassic Park, or Jaws. They were really cool. I've got kind of a take on that. I don't think remaking a film shot for shot like they did with that Psycho film with Vince Vaughn is necessarily a good idea. But if
No.
you've got a new twist on how you can
Well,
take
like The
something-
Thing is a remake, isn't it?
Yeah.
A reinterpretation.
Yeah, now you've
I
annoyed
would
me
s-
because you've made a good point there, and I was about to go off.
I
puppy.
would say, though, if I was going to pick one film, I would say Back to the Future. Because you'll never
that's the
beat Michael
go-to,
J.
isn't it?
Fox. You'd never beat and Christopher Lloyd. Unless you did something completely different with the concept of going back in time and meeting your parents.
Yeah.
When it comes to something iconic like that, and even to like if you put The Thing through as an example, I think that's now a 40-year-old film that is still iconic and for what it did. So don't they've made the version that is the version of the film, right? Same with you could say the first Jurassic Park. You could say lots of things, including Back to the Future as the greatest example of you can't remake this. It's not going to work. If it comes to something like that, don't remake it. Just say time travel, couple of dudes, and do your own one.
Exactly.
Like, there's no need to remake things unless it's something that didn't quite work the first time or was sort of not well executed because of the budget or like something like that, where it was like, oh, we were so close, but we were so far, we could actually do something with this. That's when you should give it another
It's like
crack.
when they fuck up with ones like Total Recall and RoboCop, where it's just the same premise but just not done as well. It's like you could take the idea of somebody losing their identity and being used as a machine by the state and do something different with it. Not just like, dead or alive, you're coming with me. It's
kind of bizarre. That RoboCop's actually a really weird fucking
it's
movie,
strange,
just
isn't it?
weird in the wrong way. It doesn't. It's like they watched that. A lot of those failed remakes. It's like they watched the original film, they've heard about it and whatever, but they just don't understand what's made it what it is. What makes RoboCop? They don't understand that, and so they take everything that's not good and use that. And I don't know. It's really bizarre. I don't.
They
They
lost the satire, didn't they, out of those two? The RoboCop and Total Recall specifically, I think.
Yeah,
they lost
sure.
I think a really good remake stands on its own and doesn't impact the original. Like The Thing, you can still watch The Thing from Another World, and it's a hokey 50s B movie that's really good, actually. It's a really good movie. But they're very different.
Same,
a different approach.
same as The Fly.
Filmmaking style. Yeah, The Fly's the same. And like you could do that with something like Back to the Future, because obviously, like, if somebody now went back 30 years, it'd be like going to the 90s.
Yeah.
I have to say,
So straight away, you've got a different
Yeah.
location and time where they're going to. But also, I'd just throw up and it not be a young boy. You'd just do something else, like, I don't know, a dog.
I have
Time-traveling
It seems that this legacy sequel thing has kind of given, like, they're just not remakes. They tried remakes for 5-10 years, didn't work because they kept fucking them up. So now they're like, well, you could see now if they were looking at RoboCop, they would just do a legacy sequel
Well, that's
where
what they should have done.
RoboCop's still going, but he's like got an old face on his robot body.
He should have been
But-
retired in the basement, and then like the evil corporation
Reboot.
comes back and starts doing shit, and they're like,
Flick him on.
you know, and then they're like, oh god, everything's connected though, everything's on the Wi-Fi, they've got control over everything. Not RoboCop, because he's before the internet, so they turn RoboCop on and he fucks them all up.
Because
That writes itself though. That's just
It
a
does.
sequel.
they've figured it out. They've figured out a way to do it. So I don't know if we are seeing that many remakes now. Are we? Like,
Don't seem to be.
I can't
Is that-
think of anything.
You made the point that I was going to make there, Florrie. It seems to be the legacy sequel things,
Yeah.
which I think some are more successful than others. The Scream one and the Halloween, I think, were the best examples of it. Ghostbusters
Top Gun's
was
the best.
well, actually,
Top
yeah,
Gun.
Top Gun is the best. Top Gun's the best.
Jesus is too good.
But then you've got like Ghostbusters, which do it very, very well as well. But then there's the ones that do it kind of subpar. I guess with that whole legacy sequel thing,
hang on one sec? Did anyone watch? You know, Halloween made me think of it. Did anyone watch that Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix?
no.
So I did because I was busy working on something. Fuck me, it's so terrible. But it is literally they've taken the bird that escapes at the end of the first one in the back of the truck while he's swinging his thing around and going nuts. Right, she is Jamie Lee Curtis, but they haven't understood why that works for Jamie Lee. And they've just put this woman that we haven't seen in a film in fucking 50 years, and she's just in this film, a no-named actress, and like cocking shotguns and thinking she's going to kill Leatherface. It's totally bizarre. It's maybe the worst version of that I think that I've seen.
Right.
Continue.
Yeah. I think, and then for films like Scream, it works because the whole idea of Scream is that it's a meta thing anyway, and it always was. But with regards to that connective tissue, do you feel that this whole legacy thing necessarily has to have this connective tissue? Like Ghostbusters Afterlife, I'm going to use this as an example, then I'm going to come to Jurassic Park. Like Ghostbusters Afterlife, I think would have worked very well even if the original Ghostbusters had never showed up at the end. In fact, actually, arguably,
but it would
might
still
have
have
been a
had
better
Ecto
film.
1, it still would have had the ghost, and it still would have been in that universe. So it's like, how far do you take it? It's like The Force Awakens. Could they have done that without Han Solo and stuff?
Well, I think this is what's going to be kind of...
But I think the first one, when they because it's rebooting a franchise, isn't it?
Yeah.
When they bring it back, they can do that, and then it's like what they do with the next one. And a good example is The Last Jedi, where they really did move on, and it did something new and different. And then that's why we're stuck where we are now with shit like Jurassic Park and stuff, because of The Last Jedi, because some people didn't like it, and they screamed about it online to the point where they've backpedaled on that.
They're
And
still
it's like the next
fucking going.
Ghostbusters film, it can go one of two ways, can't it? It could either be a really cool sequel where they set up the Ghostbusters again because ghosts are back, and maybe they even go to Manhattan, but it's those characters, or it's just going to be more Ghostbusters shit off of the 80s, and they just bring the painting back, the evil paintings back, everyone, and it'll be like
It's gonna be that. I think, but they won't do that on. They'll just do that by the way that they set up. The only thing that they did poorly in that Ghostbusters one was have Winston rock up and have infinite money. Like, okay, he's got a link back to New York and he's gonna be able to like get it going again. It's like, no, that's not what I didn't really want that. I liked where we were.
they need to start it up from the ground up, and
Yeah.
It's going to be
I don't
interesting
know.
what they do.
I have they make quality films. Like that guy makes good
yeah.
films, and he knows what he's doing. Obviously, he did almost the impossible, which is make a good Ghostbusters sequel. So even the original crew couldn't really do that 100%. You know, like Ghostbusters.
Okay,
I
well,
know, James,
this is my
I know.
ratings for Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters 1, number 1. Ghostbusters 2, number 2. Ghostbusters Afterlife, number 3. Because I love Ghostbusters 2.
I'd agree with you on that.
I quite like Ghostbusters 2 as well. I've never thought that it was a bad movie.
The Toaster Dancers.
But the tone and it's good. Sometimes I forget which bits are it because I saw them like so
And
much
there's-
as kids. I forget
Yo.
which bits are in which bit.
Yo.
It's got the best. It's still maintained. It's got the best scene in any
got too
Ghostbusters
many
film,
good
which is the courtroom scene. But anyway, we
Courtroom
talk
scene.
about
You
You know what's weird about Ghostbusters 2? It's actually it feels like a legacy sequel.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's
It
like
does.
time. So much time has passed,
Yeah,
and
and
the
they've got to come
vibe
back.
has changed. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe it works better now because we're used to that kind of bullshit.
So
Maybe.
talking about that kind of thing. So Obi Wan finished last week. We haven't recorded one of
Obi.
these since Obi Wan. What's your general vibes off the back of Obi Wan? Because I have mixed feelings around it.
Not watched the last episode.
You
yet.
have not?
Oh, you haven't? Oh, we shouldn't talk about
Ooh.
this then.
I don't care. I've had it spoiled online.
To be honest, there
What
aren't
if
really
they
any
sort and his voice
spoilers.
talks?
There's not.
It looks like just
No.
a rinse repeat of the episode from before.
Yeah.
What happened is what everyone expected to happen. I thought they executed it
Yeah.
pretty well. I really enjoyed a lot of the last episode.
Yeah.
I think about 25% of the whole series itself needs to come out. It should have been a 2.5 hour film with a more like a faster, more kind of what do I want to say? Like more urgency about
Bit
it.
better
They should have
pacing, yeah.
better pacing. Some stuff should have been taken out. We did not need. There was some stuff that was just like
The thing is,
really let it down.
It was constructed as a film, wasn't it? It is a film that they've then broken
Yeah,
out
it's we-
into a
it's
TV
weird.
show.
The thing is,
But
it
added
was
stuff
it
in you
was-
don't need.
They announced it. I think a couple of days back. They wanted to make a movie out of it, but the thing was that Solo bombed, and that's why they turned it into a TV show.
Okay.
Yeah. They originally had like a trilogy planned, didn't they? And this was part one. So they've kind of got story ideas, but then how much can you take it?
I
Like
don't know. Ewan McGregor's great though,
Oh,
and to be honest,
phenomenal.
Do you
he
want
made it.
him back for
He's
season
amazing.
2? Because they want to be back, and Kevin, who was it? No, not Kevin Feige.
Well, what would he do, though?
Kathleen Kennedy said, if the fans want a season 2, they're gonna make one.
I kind of think they've got to move away
This
from the
is-
whole Darth
The
Vader
more they
thing
do
now,
though, the
haven't
more
they?
they're going to impact the originals, aren't they?
Yeah.
You've got to be careful.
Like, do they have something with
What gives-
Yoda? Like, how does Obi-Wan know Yoda's on Dagobah? And like, I just think they've got to move away from that. It's
I
really
mean,
weird.
That's what
Because
he
for
said.
me,
Didn't he say that?
one of the best parts of Obi-Wan is also one of the parts that puts me at odds with where it sits, and that's kind of Leia, having Leia in there. I think as part of a story device, and her acting and that character and that little girl that played her was phenomenal. But it kind of just, I think it just, and without sounding like a crusty middle-aged Star Wars fan, it kind of was a bit jarring for me with a lot of the dialogue in A New Hope. And they kind of played it a bit crafty at the end with, and remember, pretend we've never had this kind of thing. And it's like, oh, okay, that's how they're getting around it, are they?
I quite like that she learns that they do trackers and stuff. Like, it's kind of cute, and then that's why she knows in A New Hope that they tracked. But also, in a way, originally it's just because she was awesome and she was clever.
Yeah.
She was like, why would they only send like 2 TIE fighters? Of course they're tracking
And
us.
it also kind of has one of those things where everything that she talks about in A New Hope and learns about, or knows and has knowledge of and things,
comes from this.
is that all learned within the space of these 4 days that this series is set, rather than anything over the past 19 years of her
Well,
life?
you've got to remember
I
as
think-
well, this is the other thing that people do forget, and us as grown men, is it's for kids.
Yeah.
But this series was not for kids.
I know. Well, that's
part
why
of
it's
the-
weird, because Star Wars is for kids. It should be anyway. It's just there's an odd. Who's it been made for? You know?
So my thoughts are...
It's a little bit strange when he's having because he's acting the shit out of it, Ewan.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
And
Yeah, he's amazing.
the way
He's
that
so
he's
good.
having all this, like, he's having issues with, like, kind of like almost like a PTSD thing. He feels guilt over, like, failing Anakin. He's got this kid to look after, and he's not been able to have his own kids. There's some stuff about Padme there, all this sort of gear. Great. And he acts it really well. But then I'm like, but my children would be bored. They want to see the guy fly the spaceship and fight with this thing. So they can watch the prequels, I guess, or the cartoons. But I think this is all good. This is fine. I'm happy with, like, they skirted a line, and there's a few lines in there. I'm like, all right, you have to put that in so that it still works. If he ever sees her again before A New Hope, they're fucked it.
Yeah.
She has to be a 9-year-old that then, what's she like? They're like 19, 20 in A New Hope or something like that.
19,
She then has to have 10 years removed so that it's like she has kid memories of all that stuff. because if it's too fresh and she remembers it, like that would be weird. The way that the lines deliveries in A New Hope, that would be odd.
And this is
I can do it the way it is now is
Yeah.
fine. Don't touch it.
Did you guys know
That's it.
that they were actual twins, Luke and Leia, the actors?
no
They're actually
Really?
they're actually
That's
twins,
cool.
and I think that's
Oh.
that's a cool fun fact that they did that.
clever.
Also, Luke got
overall.
awful-
I've
oh, no, he
not
hasn't
watched
seen
the
it.
last episode yet, but it's decent.
Yeah, 7 out of 10 from me.
Yeah, 7.5, something like that. It was worthwhile watching and worthwhile making. They should have made a few slightly different creative decisions, and it could have been better, but it definitely could have been a lot worse. So
Yeah. But I do agree with you. I think leave it alone now. Done. It's told it.
Done.
Because if he revisits Vader or Leia, it kind of starts to have more broader implications. Because how he ended that with Vader in that last episode
very good.
was very, very good. And that was very well written, I thought.
It's time for something new, isn't it? It's time for Taika to do a totally new story.
Batshit
within the
Gracie,
universe.
Space Goat, Star Wars story.
Doesn't even have to be crazy. It just has to be
No.
different and good.
Yeah.
Please
New
make
characters
something
that
good.
We learn to like. Yeah.
No, I agree
Mhm.
with you. I agree. So, I think just we've covered Top Gun, so we don't need to go into Top Gun other than saying I think it's amazing. Unless anyone else has got any thoughts they want to share.
Why
on
is
that.
it
Best
why is it
action
that
movie
amazing?
since. Best
You didn't
action
like
movie
Top Gun,
since-
Tom?
I
Best
thought
action movie.
It wasn't
Best
in black
action
and white.
movie.
That's why I didn't like it.
Best action
Let Matt
movie
talk.
since Mad Max Fury Road.
I agree.
Okay, but Mad Max Fury Road's story was way better. First of all, second of all, I really enjoyed the action. It was really intense, but that's the only thing that the movie has for me. Story wise, I can poke so many holes into the story, and like so many ridiculousness that I have to swallow just because of the action. It's just
But it's Top Gun. It's meant to be
Yeah.
fun and ridiculous.
But,
You
yeah.
don't have to take it seriously.
But
It's just
that
just
doesn't
awesome.
make it a
Oh.
good movie.
Also,
It does.
No, it
picking
does not.
apart your kind of thing, Mad Max really was a very simplistic story.
I think it worked very much better than Top Gun did. Like I don't know.
Okay.
For example, when you look at like what was her name, like Penny something.
Yeah.
The bar lady. They made us swallow that this person has been in the universe for such a long time. They just basically said
She's in the first movie.
she
They
is
mention
not in
her
the first movie. I looked it up. She is not
They,
in the first
they
movie.
mentioned that he
They
buzzed the
mentioned
tower to impress Penny. So she's not actually in
And
it,
then-
but that's
and then
why
you
he
have
did
this
that, because he was
girl-
going out with her then.
But the thing is, we get introduced. Oh, you're that guy. My mom has not seen for 3 years. You're an asshole. Blah blah blah. Don't be an asshole now.
So it's
But-
been
but-
30
like,
years.
right,
We've
okay.
not seen what they've been
It's
doing.
So,
It's been
Tom-
30
Ridiculous.
years.
Go out. So
How
if you went
ridiculous.
out, just take 2 weeks from now. Over the next 2 weeks, will you see everybody you have ever met in your life?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's kind of, I think in these kind of films, they kind of span a time frame, don't they? So they've got to. I mean, if you didn't
I
like
get
it,
it.
that's your choice. That's your choice. But I think
it's just.
what I thought having Penny in it was quite clever because it's kind
My
of.
wife
But they made us-
loves Top Gun. All right, my wife loves Top Gun, the first one. And when she said her name, she was like, she went, "The Admiral's daughter," and she loved it because it was a callback. And then you got that history. And
But the thing
it's
is
been
with the
30
daughter.
years. So he did date her on and off for 30 years, quite obviously, because that's what happens in the film. That's not a problem.
They tell us that off screen basically. We don't have
Well, yeah,
anything.
because it's
We
30
don't
years
know
have
about
passed.
this.
What do you mean?
And
Why do you need to know about it?
because
Okay,
it's-
so Tom
because
doesn't like it.
No,
That's
I
fine.
didn't say I didn't like it. I gave it like a 7.5
No,
or
no.
whatever.
Oh, okay.
But
That's
it was
fair.
okay.
You just got issues with
I
it.
got issues
Yeah.
with it, and this is for especially with the little girl that basically like I think the thing is that Penny and her daughter were like inserted into the movie in a certain way that it kind of like like I have to know these people, but they are not in the first movie, and it kind of like they are introduced in that way that like, oh, I should be stupid for not knowing them, and that's what
I
like
think
gave me like a hiccup.
I think that's kind of good though when that happens in a film, because it's a bit like, for example, like the history between Chewbacca and Han Solo in the first Star Wars, like best mates, but you don't know why or how and stuff. And or when they mention the Clone Wars, and you go, oh, what's that? And it's just like, oh, there's history there, so it just
But
adds
you
a
get 'em in the
sense
first
that these
movie,
people
right?
are real.
But did you say Han Solo and who? And Chewbacca?
Chewbacca.
Yeah, but but that's we have to accept that from the first movie. But we have a first movie in Top Gun too, basically.
Yeah, but there's
That's
been
what I'm saying.
30 years in between, so
Well,
that's why it doesn't matter that it's not being fleshed out, because it doesn't have to be, because you can just imagine that he's known her on and off for 30 years.
For me,
I
it
think
has the
it's
opposite,
storytelling.
I guess, of what you're saying, Tom. Because for me, it feels more like building, and you're fleshing out the history, and you're fleshing out the characters, and you're fleshing out kind of what's happened over the past 30 years without having to explore it. But, you know, that's cool. Everyone...
She's
It-
obviously,
also,
she's obviously that
Miles
character.
Teller is the coolest dude ever.
Yeah,
We can all agree there, right? Miles Teller is awesome in
yeah,
that movie.
yeah.
He is so cool.
He, I did try growing a mustache, and I shaved it in when was it? Saturday. And I very quickly got rid of that. I didn't leave the bathroom with that because I looked like
Dirk Diggler.
it looked well. I wish I looked like Dirk Diggler. Jesus. No, there's that meme going around, isn't there, about what guys think they look like when they.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that. Yeah, it was very much that. When I'm sad
Miles
that
Teller is very fit.
stood there all sad in the mirror in just my boxer shorts, with shaved this mustache.
Yeah, the reason that Rooster looks like that is not because he has a mustache. It's like 7 days a week in the gym with a nutritionist and shit. Like, that's why he looks good. If you want to do that bit, maybe do that before the mustache.
Yeah, I think I'm going to work on the rest and then kind of then work up towards it. And then me and Nat were having a conversation yesterday because I like a jazzy shirt, right? We all like jazzy shirts. I was like, maybe I should go and grab some white vests and start a bit of layering under there. And that was very quickly vetoed.
Don't do it, James. Nope.
That man had. I was reading a thing the other day. He had 7% body fat when he filmed that movie. So
Who, Miles-
unless you
Who
got
did Miles
that,
Teller or Tom Cruise?
Miles Teller. I think Tom Cruise doesn't have body fat. Like that motherfucker
He's not really
was
human, is he?
hanging.
Tom
He's like
Cruise is-
60, and he was hanging with those boys.
But he was never shown
Like-
like from the really from the front. Like they had like some
Oh.
shots redone because of that. So or like that's why you see him at the end.
Even
Oh,
if
there's
that-
some
Yeah.
careful lighting going on
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
I
60.
mean, Bob
Sorry.
Bob in his shirt was like the absolute fucking best as well. Like he just keeps his shirt on.
Do you know who his dad is?
Bob,
Yeah.
I
Who
do,
is
and now I
It's
can't remember.
Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman.
Is it?
Yeah. When you know that, you're like, oh god, he looks like Bill Pullman.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a bit of him in there. Hey,
Wow. So to bring this all back,
it's like Maya Hawke, and then my wife's watched like
Yeah.
we've all watched
Yeah.
it, and she just goes, "Did you know that's?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like once you know, it looks
Yeah,
like
oh,
a
it
computer
looks like-
smushed them together, doesn't it?
yeah, she is great. Oh,
Um,
talking about
Uma
Stranger
and-
Things and back on the TV thing, that's the best TV series I've watched in a few months. That was really very good. This series
It was very good. Very good.
Have we all watched it all? Yeah, we've all watched it all. Yeah.
Have you watched it, Tom?
I have watched it, of course.
Yeah, it's a really dope show, and I don't know how it's actually better.
Yeah.
Something.
It shouldn't work as good as it does because it is a hodgepodge. It's like, you know,
Yeah,
Nightmare on Elm
actually-
Street, Hellraiser, this series with a bit of Evil Dead and stuff mixed in, and yet it still feels like quite fresh.
Yeah.
somehow.
There was a point somewhere in like I've liked it all the way through. I really liked the show. There was a point somewhere where I was like, "Oh, are we gonna dip into just like all this show is references?" And I don't think they ever went into that point. But I was worried like, "Oh, once we get to 3 and 4, like that's gonna start happening." But somehow they've pulled it back and they're making somehow less obvious. Like there's obviously stuff in there like casting Freddy as the dude
Yeah.
and all this
Oh,
sort of
yeah,
stuff, and just like the stylistic references, but they're not like new Coke. Oh, look at her shirt, like all this sort of shit. They're not pulling in this stuff, even though they are. It's just not as in your face. They actually sat down and used the time to like write more story and more things for not all the kids, but most of the kids to get up to. And I think it really works.
Yeah.
What's it? It's like a couple of days till the next bit, right?
Yeah,
July
it's not
1st,
long.
tomorrow, basically, after this came out.
What were your thoughts?
And
on
it's
it, Tom?
4.5 hours worth.
The new series of The Orville, though, is brilliant.
Oh, a bit of Star Trek. I mean, no, we don't. Not Star Trek, right?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, I love it too.
It's just really, it's like a warm blanket. It's just really nice
Yeah.
to watch it. It's just really nice TV show.
I haven't started on the new series yet. I need to. I've just moved on to The Boys. I'm kind of dipping in and out of that a little bit, but
They do in one of the episodes. It's not spoiling anything. They're like in the Western bar in like the holodeck, and Isaac comes in. He's got this big handlebar mustache, and it's just so stupid, but it's so Star Trek because it's like obviously like what would have happened back on Next Generation and stuff. It's great.
It's so interesting that show is allowed to exist and be better than actual Star Trek. Like, it's bizarre. I didn't think it could be good because, it's, I don't know. Family Guy was fine for like the first 74 seasons, and then it really fucking started to be like, oh my God, here we go. There's just more of this, is there? It's like his comedy is very hit and miss, but I like Seth MacFarlane as a dude. I think he's interesting and clever.
It's very watchable, isn't
he? He just makes a Star Trek show with him as the captain. That sounds like the worst fucking idea ever, and it's brilliant. It's so good.
It is really good.
Yeah, I need to jump onto that one. I think I've just I've just let it slip. I'll get onto it. I'll watch it because the first two series were brilliant. More so the second series as well. I think they kind of leaned more into the playing it straight, and that's
this new series so far is much more just straight. The humor is just character stuff, really.
Yeah, more naturalistic.
But even after the first there was like gags in the first couple of episodes, and then from then on, like the only real gags were like when they're doing the practical jokes or like a few lines here or there per episode. It wasn't really jokes, and that's when it got really good. I think.
I've got a question about TV. You know the new dark program that's not dark.
1899.
Yeah,
I think.
Do you know, Tom?
1889?
Is that German or not? Because the trailer's English.
It's English.
It's supposed to be
in
German.
English.
It's a German show. It's
Yeah.
made by the
No.
same.
I noticed it's got Jonas in it.
No, yeah, it has Germans, but I think it might be
But it's more-
a little bit multilingual.
Yeah, it's more international maybe this time.
because the boat has people from everywhere on it. I think that's the thing.
What's
So
this? I've not
they
seen
might
it.
they might. So it's the creators of Dark have made another show about. It seems like Bermuda Triangle sort of shit.
Yeah,
wow.
kind of like
Okay.
that. Like
It looks good.
mystery again, mystery period.
Yeah, on a boat.
drama on a boat.
Okay. Oh, that should.
They're
be
making
cool.
a crossing from somewhere to somewhere with people from all over on this boat, and they get stuck and things.
Oh,
happen,
so
but
like supernatural Titanic kind of thing.
yeah, we don't really. It does. The trailers are very vague. It just looks like it's going to be fucking good.
So there's something weird about. I do like stuff on boats. I think because you're in that confined, kind of environment. I just think it adds an element of.
Like that's Boots.
Oh yeah,
That's
Das
your
Boots
favourite.
will laugh a minute. Like it just adds that kind of atmosphere and that kind of confinement, and I don't know. It's just like The Terror.
You're
Did
not
you watch
wrong.
The Terror?
Yeah, I loved it.
Oh, the Terror was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. I think it just kind of amps it up. And also,
Well, that's what
dislike
Alien is,
boats.
right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's just a way to get things. It used to be boats, then it was spaceships. It's a way to keep things contained and not have outside influence.
Or like
on
the
the
haunted
story.
castle. There's the same
Yeah,
sort
the
of thing,
haunted
isn't
house.
it?
Do we want another question? Should we take another question? Oh, did
Yeah.
we think that was a ball-worthy question then? I actually thought that was...
We went on and on and
Yeah,
on
I
for a
think so.
while, and then went off on a tangent.
We're going off on a tangent. These are just if you do send in questions, just be known that your question probably won't get answered. We'll just start talking about
I mean, we
something that
did.
your question reminds us of.
Start fighting over Top Gun.
Yeah, it's a start point.
So, I've got to stop saying so. I use that as a bit of a... Anyway. Any future plans? This one's for all of us, I guess, because... we've got something up our sleeves that's relevant. Any future plans for a Cakes and Comics, so a Matt Ferguson and Florrie exhibition here in the UK? That's from Stephen Football Monkey on Twitter.
Who, me?
Any plans for anything in the UK?
Nah, not really.
Nah.
I'll be
Okay,
out there.
James-
I'm coming for Thought Bubble.
I just wanted to say,
In-
James.
That's what I was leading into.
James' face
Yeah,
was
I
saying
know.
yes.
He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm leading into this thing. Yes, I'll be out there. I'll be playing with the boys. I think I've said that 3 times now. I can't get Top Gun out of my head. Yeah, I'll be out there doing stuff, appearing, releasing posters, hopefully, if I ever get time to work on them. And yeah, that should be a bit of fun.
Should be fun. Tom, you're coming out. Are you coming too?
I'm coming. Yeah, I'm coming.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Sweet.
okay.
I mean, I thought
Football.
we announced it. I mean, if Florey's coming, I'm coming. So
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yes.
I think the plan is for us to do one of these live, isn't it? Do a live open channel with the four of us, which we'll do at Thought Bubble during the convention. And then I think we'll probably record one. We'll kind of record one all in the room together that will be one in front of a live audience, and then hopefully we'll record one separate with all of us as well. We are cooking up some other plans around. We're not going to waste Florey's. We're not going to waste having Florey over here. We are trying to cook up some other plans. So will it be an exhibition? No. Will it be something fun and cool? Yeah, definitely. We've got a couple of ideas.
There'll be lots of things. I want to do lots of things. So we're going to try and cram it packed full of things
Fish
to do.
and chips.
And
Yeah.
apparently I have to have a Scotch egg. But
Yeah,
it has to be a
Scotch eggs
good
are
one.
good.
Never had
Scotch
never
eggs are
had
good
one of
thing.
those.
what is a
Yeah.
Scotch egg?
It's like sausage meat around a
Okay,
boiled egg.
okay, yeah.
And then it's like breaded and fried.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'll take you. We'll go to a farm shop near us, Florey, that does them. And I think we're gonna have a few lads' days in London. I think. I guess we could always do a little bit of a meet up for a couple of hours if folks wanted. We'd go to a pub and say what pub we're at, and if people wanted to come, Matt will love that.
Can I?
So my main idea will be I'll be at this comic convention, and you can just bring, because I don't sign any of my work, right? Because traditionally it's
Oh
printed
my
in
god,
the US.
you're gonna sign forever.
I said I'll sign it. No one's gonna fucking come and see me. I'm just saying this here
That's
so
what
that
you
no
say.
one can hold me to it, because no one watches this show. So if I say it here, I don't have to hold anyone to it. There'll be like two dudes. I'll sign anything you bring. Even if it's not mine, I'll sign it. I don't care. I'll sign Matt's posters.
I will
there.
bring-
but I'll be around.
I will bring a couple of books so you can doodle in there.
Oh, no doodles. I don't do doodles.
Sign
one
it
for you,
sign
but
it.
no one
It's
else.
like a yearbook in the end. You put a quote. It's like-
Oh right. Have a great summer.
Exactly.
All that.
But yeah, by the way, speaking of London, this is for sure now because the dates have moved. It's gonna be the 12th to the 16th when I'm gonna be in London. So, if you guys are
Okay.
there,
Of what? Of July?
it's September.
Oh, September. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, making it. That's
God, you
when
freaked me out. I thought you were talking about fucking the thought bubble had moved. I'm like, oh my god, my
no.
tickets are non-refundable and I can't make any changes.
We need to get them to put you on as a guest as well.
Me?
Yeah, we'll sort that out. Okay.
Yeah, it's
So that
happening.
people know
I'll be
you're
there
coming.
no matter what. Yeah,
I feel
we gotta
like
do
these
something.
questions this week, I'm going to give them all balls because they're the first ones to write in and they've made the effort to do it.
Yeah, you get a ball.
So
I don't know what that
very
means
nice of
anymore.
them.
That was like 8 months ago that we decided we were talking
Yeah.
about balls, and then someone said it in a chat the other
We
day, and I
did,
had no idea what we
though,
were talking about.
just to answer a little bit more of the question from Stephen Football Monkey 1 or whatever he was. I think I know who he is.
Yeah.
I know.
It's-
Also,
I thought it was
um,
Michael J. Fox.
But we did talk about an exhibition, didn't we? And we had this really
Oh,
cool
we talk about
idea
this stuff all
about
the
like
time.
doing
Don't blow it,
um,
but we'll do something.
something
no
that
doubt.
wasn't like licensed art, but there's no time to do it. So
No.
I think something will eventuate, because I said in 2019 after we did that show in New York, like that really felt good, and there was a lot of people that I met there that were faces to names or icons or
Yeah.
whatever, and they're always buying my stuff, and it's like I don't think I was a real person. They weren't real people, but it's sort of like. Not in a like, oh, I'm trying to just like become more popular, but it felt like a level up kind of thing, and I think it was good all round for like both the people that came to see us, for us as a kind of unit, and for the art and for everything. So I was like, I'm going to do this every year. I'm going to come somewhere and do something, and then I haven't been anywhere for 3.5 years. So I'm forcing this one this year, and then I think the consecutive years, I'm sure we'll end up somewhere doing something.
There will be
That would be the idea.
There will be an event and there will be new art to go with it. The problem with exhibitions, or one of the difficulties with exhibitions, is because we do everything licensed. There's that you've got to kind of pull everything together. So what do you do it around theme wise, like the admin and the logistics around the Amblin-esque one were difficult enough because that was spread across 4 different studios and bringing all of that together. Then on top of that is that essentially that's 2 years worth of work, or at least a year's work for 2 artists that's pulled together. So what do? Do you do that at the expense of regular releases? And then overarching all of that, there's the theme. Picking a theme that people are going to be interested in as well. So it's something.
Matt emailed me in February of 2019, and I was there in what was it, like May or something?
Yeah. And we'd already been working on it for 6 months at that point. I think.
Yeah, I know you'd already been going for ages,
and
that's why I had a few less posters than him. But yeah, so it doesn't always take 2 years. But
I think we'd definitely look at doing. I think Matt's the 2000 AD gallery that was really fun, but that was kind of different artists and stuff. Matt's retrospective gallery was great as well. What are we now? We're 6 years into.
Yeah, my career's over. It was done. That's it. Nothing since the retrospective.
So there's a part 2 of
R.I.P.
that. Then there's stuff that we can do. There'll be bits and bobs. It's just finding something that's worthwhile. It's just hard. Exhibitions are hard, but we are going to focus more on doing a lot of events. We're at a few more conventions this year. I'm speaking collectively here. I know the question was more directed at Matt and Florrie, but we're going to be doing more events. We're going to be doing more conventions, and we're going to find ways that people can come and take part in something that doesn't necessarily have to be a singular gallery show.
By the way, James, didn't you go to MCM? Did we talk about that? Maybe you can give us some experience how it was.
MCM was great, and this is why we're going to definitely do more of those. Matt was sadly missing because he was on holiday, but it was the first time we'd done anything outside of Thought Bubble, with the exception of a couple of really shit local ones we did a few years ago, that were kind of more of your autograph things.
That Manchester one. I've probably told that story many times, but about Kyle Reese coming up. Have I told you the story about Kyle Reese?
I can vaguely remember.
It was the deadest con ever, and he comes up, and I'm like, fucking hell, that's Michael Bean, what's he doing? Because it wasn't us, someone else had a Terminator poster, didn't they? And he's like, yeah, how's the convention treating you? And we're like, yeah, okay, it's not that busy. And then he just said like, sometimes you bite the bear and sometimes the bear bites you. And then just walked off, and he was wearing the trench coat from Terminator. And we were just like, what the hell just happened? Worst convention ever, but also the best meeting of a famous person.
Good. It was very good. I think that was also the same convention that Nats tripped over Kenny Baker.
Making recipes.
We were just walking and she like stumbled over and she turned around and it's like R2D2 on the floor and she fell over it.
Jesus.
Yeah. So
not related to his passing, I don't think.
No. So yeah, no. Thanks for asking, Tom. It was very good, and the MCM guys are they seem really good to work with as well. So we've got a few ideas. So we'll be back for MCM in London in October. We're not doing the Birmingham one, because that's the same weekend as Thought Bubble. And we kind of want to stick with Thought Bubble because, again, we get on with those guys really great. And we're also doing DesignerCon. We're doing DesignerCon in London, the London one, in September, I think that is. So that should be quite fun.
Sell some ornaments.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you need toys for that, right?
Well, they're kind of they're leaning more into designer in general. Like, I was looking at the first poster release that they did yesterday, and there's quite a lot of street art. We're the only kind of, I guess, licensed movie poster company there, but they are really leaning into the art side of things as well. So it'll be quite an interesting one to go, because again, the benefit of MCM for us was that there were 90% of the people there we'd never met before and didn't know who we were. So we kind of reached a different customer base. So we expect, hopefully, DesignerCon will all be the same.
Cool.
That's the plan. We have another question. This is the last question. What is your most desired alternative movie poster from the past 5 years that is missing from your collection? So essentially, what poster have you liked in the past 5 years?
5 years, or just ever?
I think just ever, actually. 5 years.
Just
I can't
ever,
remember what came out yesterday, let alone 5 years ago. Tom, you're pretty good. You collect quite regularly. You're into the kind of the more broader market much better than us. What's kind of missing from your collection, do you think?
Personally, what sprung to mind right away was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 by Matt.
No one has that.
You can't have it.
I know I can, but
I gave you the number 2.
I know that's why I need number 1, obviously. But the thing is, I have one in storage with Don and Rebecca from Poster Posse. But the only thing with that one is because they have 2, one that is still intact and everything, but the second one has a rip in it. But they're gonna give me that one for free, so I'll try to restore it as good as I can, and then have
Just
it.
get your glue stick out.
I've got 2 as well. I've got 2 left. I've got 1 in a frame, and then 1 squirreled away.
Yeah, keep it there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that's my. If I was gonna, I don't really collect. I don't need more pieces of paper in this goddamn house, so I don't really keep up with any of that stuff. But I would say the things missing from my collection are my own posters, because when you're like trying to getting going and things aren't like maybe things don't sell or your art fee is not high enough to actually make a goddamn living. I was just like, if I had something that would sell, I would sell it. So usually every single AP was sold, and that goes for everything I've done up until maybe like, I don't know, last year or something, when I really started to think about it and say like, oh, I should just keep a couple of everything, I think, just for posterity. So I don't have, there's so much stuff that I don't have, like,
Speaking of APs,
I would have liked to have.
Flurry?
Yes.
Speaking of APs.
Oh yeah. So that's I do have a sale on Friday of Batman 1989, Michael Keaton. So there's hopefully some people have seen them, not many according to my likes on Twitter, but that'll be on sale on Friday on my store, mrflurry.com/store. So you'll be able to go there and grab whichever version you like. There's a few of each, but I'd move if I wanted a specific version. Like if you want that yellow one, you better get your ass in gear.
Faux show.
Are they going to come also with the cool trading cards?
Yeah,
absolutely not.
With these,
are they?
Yeah, I kept a box spare for you.
Oh, sick. Okay, thanks.
I mean,
man.
I'm going to pull
Can
out.
Can I just have the cards and we say fuck everybody else? Like...
So these are an absolute throwback. I love them. I did originally.
They're wicked, aren't they?
I did originally buy one. Full disclosure, I did originally buy one box for me to keep, but I thought.
Did you not keep it?
No, it's going to go for your APs because
you idiot.
Because I'm just going to pull out the ones that I like and keep those ones. There's no. Why do I need those? Why do I need them?
James, I think you do need them though.
They'll just sit in a drawer. I've got to get out of this whole kind of kleptomania thing, but there are. I mean.
So on that note, James, what poster are you after?
No, hold up.
Oh, yeah.
But people, please tag us in your story on Twitter, on Instagram, wherever, with the trading cards that you got, because maybe people want to trade some cards.
People might want to trade for a different one. That's a good point.
Trading cards.
Good one. Maybe we should start doing our business cards, trading card size, and number them. Or maybe not. The
people collect,
Yeah, I know, that's the thing. People love to complete a collection.
Let's I just had an idea. Let's put a pin in that.
Okay.
For later.
Yeah. What poster is missing from my collection that I'd really want? It's not in the past 5 years. It is that Ollie Moss Evil Dead one. I think.
Hey, that's what I was going to say.
Think of another one.
I do really like that one. But then, oh Christ.
Star Wars, anything Ollie Moss.
He's got
anything
Evil
would be
Dead
nice.
because it's the Dutch angle as well, and that's what set me off on Dutch angles.
Yeah.
Was that poster?
I do regret one thing. I regret getting rid of. I got rid of Jock's The Thing poster. I had both versions of those.
Oh yeah, that's a good poster.
Yeah, I got rid of it. I sold those, and I regret that actually. And I also
That's a
the
poster
landscape. The landscape variant is brilliant.
yeah, the red one.
That's a poster I appreciate more now than I did, I think, when it came out. Because there was a lot of people that were sort of like, oh, he hasn't really done anything there. But then when you actually see it, it's like,
simple,
yeah, it's pretty sick. Like it's perfectly like his style thrown forward to the thing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I saw something. I saw something the other one day about Jock. Actually, there was a post, and did a Zero Dark 30 poster at the time or whatever, and it blew my mind. Did anyone see this post where it's like the fucking guys all spell out
Zero
the title?
Dark 30.
You see that
Yeah,
shit?
yeah.
Yeah, I had that poster.
How the hell
for a
did he
while.
do that?
Just drew him, didn't he?
that man makes a Z, but it doesn't look like a man that makes a Z until you know. It's pretty good.
It was very clever.
Yeah,
It was a good poster.
Very good.
There was other than
If there was another poster I could have then instead of Evil Dead, you never know, somebody might be listening and they might send it to me. That happens.
We need vintage
is
Transformers.
the original Star Trek the Motion Picture one sheet. So not the screen print version, a good quality of the original one with the credits and everything.
yeah.
Of the original one sheet, and I'd get it all mounted up.
That's
You'd have to. We should be doing an eBay search for this kid's birthday or something for that, James. Put that on the docket as well. Put a pin in that.
It's like my favourite poster.
It's Christmas as well,
ever.
so yeah, it's gonna.
Or at least a high-res file that we can print a G-Clay of, eh, Florrie? You know.
Yeah, exactly right. He'll never know. He'd never know.
By the way,
He loves G Clays.
I have a quick question for James and Flory. Because I remember back when you were looking for a Stan and Vince Jurassic Park Japanese version poster.
The Bruce Yan one.
Bruce Yan one.
That's it. That's probably the one in the past 5 years that I would say I'm missing.
Is that why you did had Flory do Jurassic Park in Japanese version?
Yeah, fuck you, Bruce Yan. No, it's like
we wanted Japanese, yeah.
Yeah, no, we just thought that was cool. No, that was
It is
a good
cool.
poster.
But yeah, I was making a joke on the release episode like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, James probably made that poster only because of that.
Yeah, I do like that one. That's still a good one. That's still one that I'd buy if it was a reasonable price. But I just don't get this whole aftermarket thing. Like people
It's crazy.
So people are buying really high prices on stuff, but stuff doesn't sell. So why are you kind of trying to? It's just weird. If something sells for that price, fine. But surely if you genuinely want to kind of offload something, you kind of should just be maybe looking to the highest bidder, really? I don't know. But then
only
people
the odd thing goes to another level.
Yeah.
Like I've only had it once.
I have to say, by the way, I just remember which print I would really, really wanted, where I was stupid not to buy it, which was the Everything Everywhere All at Once James Jean actual print. I have the one sheet, but the one sheet looks like shit compared to the print. And
where it's all got different levels and it's
I'm so stupid. It was
stuff.
I mean, even if I would have bought, I should have bought two actually, one to keep and one to sell, and I still would have made money on that because they're going for like 2,000 plus. No.
Yeah. His prints. He's an interesting chap.
Crazy.
Like I met him once. I went to a signing that he had here. I didn't know what to say to him, and it was really weird. But it's just like because I used to love his stuff, and he did all the comic covers and all that sort of stuff, and his books and all that. But his printmaking is really interesting. He's pushing things forward and doing a lot of interesting things, and people just say it costs a lot, and it's like they cost a lot for a fucking reason. And he's James Jean for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's
screen prints cost so much to do now as well. It's like
I know it's just beginning, and it's the waiting, it's the waiting list as well with getting them. I think for me the other side of that question, I've not asked it, but the artist I'd really like a poster of that I don't really have anything in my collection is probably We Buy Your Kids. I do like We Buy Your Kids. You've got some really good ones.
I've got its Star Trek. Star
really
Trek
cool.
2 poster. It's a wicked poster, and I got it direct from their website.
Yeah.
And it was like
emailed Sonny
30 quid or something because it had a crease on it, and it's like a tiny crease on the corner, and it's like an amazing poster.
Yeah, I had a chance to interview
they'd be
them,
one
so
of.
Check it out.
They'd be one of the. It was the craziest. Like everyone came into this with Ollie and like a few other artists and stuff like that. And then I saw whatever their first. They had a few posters out with Mondo and stuff at the time. And I was like, "Fuck, these guys are sick! Like, I want all this stuff." And I remember I went onto their store, and they just had everything there for $30-$40 Australian too. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? And that's why I have all of these. Like I bought The Fly, They Live, The Thing, Poltergeist, The Warriors, and I think that maybe a couple of those weren't actually on there. And I just emailed Sonny like, I'm buying a bunch of these. You got any other stuff? And he's like, what do you want? And that's how I got I think The Thing might have been the one that was like sold out or whatever. But It's just blew my mind at the time.
It's also really interesting how they work. So this is like Sonny's doing some sort of composition, and then his partner is polishing all that up, and it's like really cool.
And get well soon to Biddy as well. It looks like she's having a bit of a
just
tough
had
time.
surgery, isn't
Oh,
she?
bless her. Oh, I hope she gets better soon. Yeah, I really should get something by them. There They Live's really cool. I was just flicking through their stuff.
Wrath of Khan, man, it's
We should
banging.
We should,
It's a
we
banging
should maybe
poster,
reach
that.
out to those guys. Do they still? Is he? Because what's outside of posters? Does he kind of? I guess they keep him busy with their other projects. Haven't
Do
really.
lots of
Haven't really seen
clothing and
anything.
shit
They
like
have a
that.
bar.
Right?
They have a bar now.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's just the fucking best because they act like the way that I would like to be is just like
Let's
what
have
do I
a
want
bar.
to do right? What do I want to do right now? And they just move forward and seem to do it. I know they have. I think they have illustration gigs that are kind of like through a more of a traditional avenue. Like I think you got to get a fucking agent and all that sort of shit. I know they were at some point represented by someone. I don't know if that's still the case, but Sonny'd be the dude. Just email that guy and he'll fucking. I'm sure he'll jump on board with something.
Yeah, should drop him.
And then just get him to make all the posters that I want him to make. That'd
Just
be
got to put up with me. That's the problem. So it might not happen.
They'd be maybe the one that you don't art direct, hey? Just let him
Fucking-
kind of go for it.
I'll art direct anyone and everyone. I don't care who
Just-
they are.
just
I
for
don't
the
care who
sake of
anybody is.
Just to stick his foot in.
I'm always just like not realising who I'm talking to.
Yeah, we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
With these episodes moving forward, we're going to aim to record. Well, we do want to do one every 2 weeks now. We're going to try and get into a more consistent
A rhythm.
pattern. So we will, between now and Florrie and the clock's changing, we're going to pre-record these and get them up. Aim to get them up on a Thursday evening, so folks can watch them or listen to them at work on a Friday. So we'll aim to do that as regularly as we can. We're also going to scrap the whole Series 1, Series 2 numbering malarkey, and we're just going to head into sequential numbering. So if you're watching this now and wondering why previous episodes have been Series 1, Episode 4, Season 2, Episode blah, and now this is Episode 12.
And
that's
remember,
why.
people,
Nobody cares.
Yeah,
remember
which
also
we know.
there will be a live premiere, so we will be in the chat, or some of it at least, and so you can even chat
When's
with
the
us.
live premiere? Because I will be there.
James, when do you want it to be?
What time on a Thursday we're going to drop them, Matt? What time works for you? 8 o'clock? Does that work for you?
Is it
It
weird
works
to talk about this at the end of the episode that you're
Yeah.
already been live
Nope.
premiered for?
No,
Exactly.
no. Meta.
Future reference.
Yep, that's it. Yep. Bring everybody in on the discussion.
I'll be talking back to myself on the live.
Hi, Matt. How are you?
Premiere.
I'm Matt. How are you? Anything else anyone else wants to
Not
cover
quite
off?
like that.
Florrie, you've got your APs tomorrow. We've covered that. Matt, you've
I've
got
got my
your
unicorn.
unicorns, which can buy advice.
Oh, I've got Thor poster coming out this week, probably.
Can I?
It might be already out
Probably.
by the time this hits. Who knows?
Can I show this thing that we got here?
What is it?
It's the big quad thing.
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, that's not mine, is it?
but I just
A lot of people think that's my
Oh,
artwork.
I've got short shorts on, so apologies if folks
Speaking-
just got. a
Speaking
really
of Thor,
poor view.
Ooh, how
speaking
Thor.
of Thor, by the way,
Yeah,
Quads are always the best.
that's cool.
Yeah, I was
Just
doing
need to
some
find a
filmings
house.
for some you
nice.
know,
But
content, and they sent that over. It's wicked.
I'm. You guys know, for recording with you guys, I missed the press screening today.
Oh, Tom, what?
Of
The
what? Of
This
Thor?
movie, yeah.
Thor.
You shouldn't
You
have done
peanut.
that. You should have just
Absolute
fucked off, mate.
dickhead.
No, I was like,
We could have done this any
I was
time.
dedicated. Oh, come on, anytime. We know how that works.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Oh man.
Oh,
Well-
I feel awful now.
It's don't feel
Press,
awful.
Yeah,
press
now I feel bad.
screenings are never actually, in my experience, because I've done quite a few. I always find them hard.
But that's you. Tom loves it. He revels in
No,
it.
it's.
Yeah, he loves
I
a
love
bit of
to
a press
watch
screening.
in a press screening. You can actually watch the movie. It's not people are not there with emotions, so that's good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this is true. It's people.
You'll have to-
just,
you'll have to
like,
send Tom a
reviewing
quad
it,
now
but
to make
it's
up
got
for
a
that.
different air. I like seeing a film fresh. You know.
Yeah. Sorry though, Tom. Thank you
It's
though.
don't
very
worry,
good of
don't
you.
worry. It's all good. I have tickets for next week's premiere in IMAX anyways, because the press screenings are never in IMAX. So who cares?
Okay.
Oh well, that's true. You want it on the best screen.
Fair enough. What is it? July the 8th? We've got to wait until. That's only 2 weeks today.
July
week.
6th. That's when it's
That's ages, mate. Yeah, I'm on the 6th first.
It's like a week on Thursday, isn't it?
It's on Wednesday here in Germany.
Yeah, I'm watching it on Wednesday.
Oh wow! So it's only
So I'll
next
be
week.
seeing it.
Cool. Well, that's just bumped Jurassic Park another week, hasn't it?
Fuck that.
Yeah. So I think that's about Tom.
Four's good, I
Anything
hope it's
from
good.
anything you want to share, other than that you've made us your taskmasters miss? You've missed your press screening
I
because
feel
of
terrible
us.
about that. I'm going to have to print off a Guardians of the Galaxy and send
I'll
it to
take that as well. Sure thing.
Do an 11 by 17 or something.
Yeah.
I'll hang it. I mean, I got the handbill for.
I had the
awesome
crazy
this
idea
year.
to remaster them, to do remastered versions, and like.
See, I
'cause
think
could do
about
art better,
that
yeah.
a lot. I think about that a lot.
That's
And I'm
cool.
like,
Yeah.
But I think I just
Cute.
fuck it up, right? Like there was a reason that people liked it at
Yeah,
the time.
yeah,
kind
exactly.
Of thing.
Do you ruin it by
It
doing
would be technically better. It'd be George Lucas sing your Star
This is
Wars.
the thing.
there,
So
or-
this is what I taught myself then out of it.
Yeah.
I was going to do it, and then I thought actually, just leave it in the past.
No, you got part 3 soon anyway, haven't you? Can you imagine if you don't do that?
Yeah, I wonder who's going to be Jabba.
We shall see.
All right. guys.
Is that it? Are we done?
I think we're done.
We're
Probably.
done. Thank you very much for listening and watching, everybody. We will possibly be back in 2 weeks. Thank you very much.
Schedule works.
Yeah. Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Bye.